Hello there, my name's Terry and I am just giving the cards a bit of a shuffle to see which one wants to come out today. And it's this one here, Chenneour. Right, okay. What I'm being shown from this message here is this is all about you coming out of your comfort zone, okay, and knowing that you don't have to be the victim of other people's stuff, if that makes sense. And to explain that in a different way is just imagine if you're being confronted with something and you feel uncomfortable with being confronted about whatever it is that you're being confronted with. All right, it could be anything. It could be it might not necessarily also be to do with that particular situation that you're faced with within that moment. With this, you have to kind of like ask yourself questions as to why you feel intimidated by an authoritative figure. The authoritative figure, it could be like a boss person or somebody that they think that they have more rights over you in their own mind. This is how about it makes you feel when faced with this situation. Now, this could be coming back from when you were younger and from being in a place of a vulnerable state. Now, when you're kids, you are vulnerable. You believe what you hear from a grown-up, from a parent, from a teacher, from an older brother, from an older sister, especially if you're smaller than them, or you feel smaller than them, if that makes sense. It's how you feel inside. It's how another person can make you feel intimidated by the size of them, by the words they speak, and by the words they speak, it comes from an unkind voice. It comes with a voice of sternness, or if they feel that they have the right to treat you the way that they are, if this makes sense. Now, when you're younger, or even now, you know, you could have felt like this for all of your lifetime as far as you are now. But, as I said, it might not necessarily be that very thing that you're being confronted with. This is something that runs deep, that is deep within you, that you have been holding onto for eons, all right, from a small age. And that is your perception of how you perceived it to be. Nobody has that authority over you, obviously like within reason, all right, but on an energetic, this is on an energetic level, and what you're feeling inside. Now, from the inside, it can be from a place of like all that niggly stuff that you get round in your stomach, the fear of not knowing what's going to be said, not knowing how you're going to handle it, not knowing what to do about that situation, but the feelings that you're feeling inside internally. With this situation, ask yourself these questions. Acknowledge how you're feeling. Acknowledge how another person makes you feel within that situation. And you need to get to the bottom of it as to why it's there in the first place. If you do that, then it can release an awful lot of stuff that doesn't really need to be there anymore. And this will help you to grow. And then if you work through it, then if you're being put in that same situation again for another reason, it might not necessarily be with the same person that you felt that was there in the first place. It could be it could come around again in a different way. If it does, that's just to show you how far you've come within that situation. So you'll be faced with something, and you won't have the same emotional response as what you once did, because you would have worked through why it's there in the first place. You can do it. You have to kind of like make time for it. But it's like, I can't tell you what to do. I mean, I just channel what I'm being shown from the messages that I'm receiving. It's up to you what you do with the messages that I am channeling through for you. These are there to help you to understand you a little bit more also, and what you can actually do for yourself, for your own growth. Anyway, I'm going to leave that message there for anybody that needs to see or hear this message. And whatever you're doing today, take care of yourself. Much love, Terri.